Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. George Santos, he's the gift that keeps giving, apparently. I'm going to throw on him tonight. Want to find out a little bit more about this whole situation with George Santos having a different name, and whoever this person was, assuming it was George Santos, scammed a vet. There was a disabled veteran who had a companion dog who had cancer. And apparently somebody who was George Santos but was using a different name was running like a pet charity and offered to do a GoFundMe, raise several $1,000s to help with this pet surgery, and then basically ran off with the money. And I want to ask Spirit a couple of questions regarding that. If true, what was George Santos, or whatever his alter ego was at that point, thinking? What did they think of that situation? And then I'll follow it up with, what does he think now of his current situation with that? Sometimes if there's a couple lessons in all of this. One is, people coming together. You sometimes wonder what it takes for folks who are conservatives and folks who are not conservatives to get together. And you would think that, a disabled veteran with a dog with cancer having somebody volunteer to raise money to help his dog and then runs off with the money, that might be a little too low for even some people to say, you may have an RF to your name, but you're still a dirtbag and I don't want to associate with you. And it's, unfortunately, I can't get. Will that really happen? Can they stop digging their morals so low that they can hop over that bar? I don't know. The right enjoys supporting veterans. They like dogs and pets, and it seems like only a true scoundrel, would raise money to help a disabled veteran, somebody who's helped this country. Take off with money that's used to raise to heal their pet. But that's where we're at. Spirit gives us opportunities to they gave George Santos an opportunity to rise above it and do something good, and he chose not to. And then gives us the opportunity to forgive him for such behaviors. And it's kind of hard too, when that person just shows absolutely no remorse for what they've done. I imagine you can forgive them, but you don't have to forget. Okay, whatever. So, George Santos, in that time when you were allegedly raising money to help this guy's surgery for the pet, what were you thinking when you decided not to pay for that? Well, there's this huge disappointment card in the center of the reading, crossed with judgment. Okay. He feels that, okay, there was death involved in judgment. Okay. Oh, geez. Dog was going to die anyways. Why waste the money on him? What's underneath this deck? Yep, there's your Ace of Cups. Crying over spilt milk. Why are you getting upset? It's just a dog. I hate how this is already starting, but okay. So in the past, there's justice. It'd be nice for some of that to show up now. Page of Pentacles was the current situation. Hey, there's an opportunity to make money. And then the Moon card, you got the secrets. You're not going to tell them what you're going to do with that money. And then you have plans for that money now that you've got it. And the long-term outcome was you're going to hold on to that money instead of helping somebody out with it. Okay, yeah, so to summarize, there's death, or end, a very painful end, crossed with judgment. At first I was thinking, George was saying, this is bad, this is really bad for me, I'm going to get judged for it. But then it occurred to me, no. In a mindset of somebody like that, and somebody who's dated malignant narcissists, I understand them a bit better because I've had a lot of upfront experience with them. They don't care. And this person, what happened with this situation is he raised money knowing that dog was going to die. And after the money's in his hot little hand, it's like, oh, well, dog's going to die anyways. Why throw good money after bad? I can make use of this money. So no justice card. This is, in the past, this is actually coming up this was a noble cause. This was the right thing to do. He was given a chance to do the right thing. It was a good idea. It was fair and balanced. It was going to bring balance to his life, caring about somebody else, be a little bit of selflessness. But unfortunately, what he saw was an opportunity. He saw money. He's got some money now. And now that he's got the money, the choice he had was, do I give the money or do I hold on to it? He held on to it. He had secrets. The secrets were that he was a fraud and he had no intention of giving that money up. And no matter how much that vet argued back and forth with him, and there's text messages showing that, he wasn't going to give it. He put up all sorts of roadblocks and then just basically disappeared. And this is him disappearing. It's like, okay, I've got this money. What's my next move? He's already, you can think of the Ace of Wands as raising the money. Two of Wands is what he's going to plan to do with it once he has it. Now this is basically putting that plan into action. So the minute he got that, he never really intended to give that money, but the minute he had that money, he already had plans for it. He already had it spent, which is why he wouldn't give it back to that vet and why he disappeared. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is, to me, that's like a grandmother card taking care of her little one. So this could represent the vet, with his dog. But I think in this case, this is somebody who's like, oh, look at that. I've got money now. Isn't it nice that I've got this money? And he just walked and he went off with it. And he didn't care about anybody's feelings on this one. He is a manipulator. He manipulates people's feelings to his own advantage. That is what he is. That is what he does. And that jives with previous readings I've done on him where that comes in. Sorry, I'm a little angry with that. I've helped people who've had issues with their pets. I've thankfully have been in a position where I could do that. And it is a great feeling to help somebody out. And I've had to do that with my own dog. Where she had cancer. And it was a pretty penny to get that fixed. But I got her for another couple of years. I expected like 4 months or 5 months, and I got 2 years. It was a slow decline for her at that point. But I had the ability to help, and it was worth it. Okay. So that was then. What about now? Does he feel any remorse? Several years later. Apparently this happened several years ago. And the disabled vet at the time, I read a brief article. I wanted to skim through it just so I had the background so I could throw on it and understand what was going on. And the vet basically said, I wasn't going to forget who this guy was. Never forget his face. Because, he jacked over this guy's dog. And then apparently this veteran had to basically beg for money to euthanize his dog several months later. Because George Santos didn't come through with the money he said he was going to come through. So I can understand why he's not. This is kind of that forgive, but you're not required to forget. That vet wasn't going to forget. Didn't forget that face. And now, not saying it's revenge, but it's certainly getting the word out as to who this person is, who they really are. And the thing is that you don't really need to convince the folks on the left who this guy is. You don't need to convince normally moral, decent people who this guy is. But apparently we have to get this story out to get people who are having a real hard time with their morals and their decencies and their ethics. And they'd rather wrap themselves up in an American flag and wear a red baseball cap. Where the R after their name means more than anything else because they play for Team Republican. It doesn't matter how wretched a person they are. Maybe this will make a difference. I don't know. Not for me to judge. As hard as it is to not want to judge. Okay, but George, that card wants to stay right on top. Okay, that's fine. We'll put you right on top there. Don't know what it is, but it wants to be there. Okay, Mr. Santos, how are you feeling about things now? Oh, fool. Does that mean he's foolish, or does that mean he's happy on a new journey? Oh, he's getting a little bit versus weariness. right now I think he's just on his new journey in the White House, excuse me, in Congress. And he's getting a little tired of all these old stories coming up. I mean, that was then. What are you still worried about those stories for? Come on. That was years ago. Look what just came up on the bottom. But here we are. It's coming back full circle on him. Why are we talking about this dead dog? I'm totally different. I'm on my new journey. Why are we beating down a dead horse, a dead dog? Why are we beating down on this thing? Okay, so in the past, Jiminy, I shuffled. There you go. In the past, he was this opportunistic man. He saw an opportunity, and so he took it. Why are you giving me such a hard time? You all would have done the same thing, you judgy little bastards. But now he's dealing with the consequences. It's all coming full circle. Yeah, you did that guy over dirty, and now it's coming back to you. So, and now he's looking at it, was this card came up the last time with him. No, there's the one, I got a little bit of money, and here's this big pile of money, and I want all of it. I don't want this one little thing of swindling people. I want the big money. What's the big bucks? And he's looking at his situation right now. In his new journey, I want the big bucks. Why are you bringing up this old thing? If you bring up the old thing, I'm going to make little money when I want the big money. Lesson to be learned. Knight of Cups. He's going to go forward and try and emotionally manipulate people some more. He's just going to go back to what he does best, and that's emotionally manipulate people. That's what he's going to do. That's what he does. That's what he's going to do. It's what he's going to do again. He's not. Why change? It's worked for him all these years. Outcome. Celebration. Who's celebrating? Might have to throw a clarifier on that. Okay, so the outcome is the Three of Cups. Okay, who's celebrating? The Queen of Wands is celebrating. Illusions and Delusions. And the King of Wands. Okay, I think the Queen and King of Wands those are cards of action, mature action, and in the middle is delusion. So I think that that Three of Cups, that can represent people on the left, people on the right, and independents, the ones in the middle. Republicans, Democrats, Independents. That could represent... I don't think that's a good outcome for him. I think basically he's finding a way to unite the Democrats, the Republicans, and the Independents against him. Because he's despicable. That's just a despicable thing to do. And, he wasn't... The Seven of Cups is about illusion and delusions. It's not considering the consequences of your actions. You're only looking at the good stuff, not the bad stuff. Did he know he was going to run for Congress several years ago? No. He took the best decision for him at the time and wasn't worried about the consequences. But these cards are the consequences, because I think this is a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Maybe I'll leave. No, maybe I'll stay. But either way, it doesn't matter what you do, because you're gonna pay the price. You haven't considered all your actions on this one, and this is gonna it's gonna unite people against you, and I can certainly see that. I hope it does that, because you're not acting like a good human being. You're acting like a really crappy one, and this is something that even somebody who again supports Republicans and wants to own the libs, even they can admit that, yeah, that's a really crappy thing to do to a veteran, a disabled veteran, a homeless disabled veteran with his support dog who has cancer. If you ever made him want to agree with the Democrats on anything, that's about the course you'd have to take. Okay. That's how he's feeling now. Who wants to know what the outcome is? Sorry, this is going to be a longer video, but, this guy warrants a little extra love and attention. Again, Spirit gives us lessons to learn and challenges, and we get to sit here and look through this, and it's infuriating when you watch somebody just make really horrible decisions that negatively impact everyone around him. But, when he dies, he's going to have to go through that life review, and he's going to have to feel what it's like to disappoint that person with the promise of helping their dog and then jacking him over. So if you're going to forgive him or feel sorry for him, feel sorry for that. Feel sorry he's going to have to live that pain that he's caused all these other people his entire lifetime. And Lord knows what this guy has gone through in his life that he acts the way he does now. There must be some real deep, scarring things that he's gone through. I don't know if he's a sociopath or if he's just a narcissist. Sociopaths are born, narcissists are made. I don't know. It'd be nice if the best thing this guy could do is just go away. Really, the best thing he can do is go away, because all of his lies are being exposed. And narcissists don't like having their lies exposed. They like being the center of attention, but they don't like their lies being exposed. They like them to be disposed, but exposed. Okay, so what's the outcome for here? What's the outcome for this guy? Will this? My last reading, I was saying that the Republicans are done with him because he screwed over wealthy donors. Not that they care about this, but this actually, starts attacking the support function. You've got the people in charge. You're screwing over the guys who give us a lot of money. That's no good. But now you're cutting at the core people that would support the Republicans by a despicable act like that. What's the outcome? He's looking for more money. Does that mean he's back to the small money, though, as opposed to the big money? There's your King of Wands. Winner take all, Five of Swords. That's narcissism card through and through. And defending himself from higher ground. What's the outcome? Oh, God. Okay, so underneath it is the happy family and the King of Wands. For some readers, the happy family, this is the Republican Party, want to take everything back to the 50s or 30s or 1830s, 1850s. Back when everything was great. Mom and dad and kids and family and Christian values. And the current Republican Party is all about no compromise. Our way or the highway, 100% versus 0%. I did a reading on that. And back once upon a time, it used to be the Five of Cups. You win 3, the other side wins 2. You still won 3. You didn't get everything you wanted, but you got more than what you wanted than what the opponents did. King of Wands. This is probably Kevin McCarthy. This is going to be Kevin McCarthy who would decide what to do. And Kevin McCarthy doesn't want to lose the House. He can't lose. No, also 5 votes. The Republicans are up by 5 votes. McCarthy is not going to do anything with them. So McCarthy's going to, he'll let Santos battle this one down. Santos has the advantage because he doesn't have to leave if he doesn't want to. And he's a narcissist or a sociopath, so he doesn't feel guilt for what he did. So it's easy for him to defend himself. And so, what's going to be the outcome of this? Nothing. Maybe it costs him some of his, he got some low-level committee assignments. But he's not going to be put on any powerful committees. I think, though, that the Republican Party may restrict him a bit more. I don't know if they'll strip him from committees. It would be reasonable for them to strip him from committees as a reward for this, just to appeal to their base that they're doing something without giving up power. But there's no consequences for him as far as this goes. So nothing short term anyways on that. I realize that kind of contradicts what I got before with, he was done with Republicans, but that may not happen. I thought it would happen sooner, but that may not happen until he's up for re-election. They'll primary him with somebody else who's not going to jack over the wealthy Republican donors. Okay, so that's my reading on George Santos. He's a horrible person. He's narcissistic. He doesn't care. He manipulates people, and it doesn't look like there's going to really be any big consequences for this. He's all about money. He's all about manipulation. And we should try and figure out some way to forgive him for what he's doing and have sympathy for the people that he has taken advantage of. All right. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it. And have a great night.